So I kind of fumbled the ball a little bit. I'm gonna go out there and put that on the record. I had myself a morning when I woke up and I saw the news that the Montreal Canadiens have hired none other than Marie-Philip Poulin in a player development role. This came out as soon as I got out of bed, or it was there earlier because it came out 5 a.m. my time. And I was like, holy crap, that's a crazy piece of news. Marie-Philip Poulin is a legend, not just as a women's hockey player, but as a hockey player in general, arguably one of the GOATs. And the Canadiens just hired her to be a part of their team. That is absolutely fantastic. Do I want to make a video about this right away? Because it was from earlier this morning, and ultimately I decided not to, because we had word that, hey, Jeff Molson is going to come out here and do a press conference with Philippe Poulin, or excuse me, it's just Poulin because her first name is Marie-Philippe. Yeah, that's my bad. They were going to do a press conference together, and I was like, okay, I want to wait for that. I want to wait until 1 p.m. PST, 4 p.m. in Montreal to listen to what they have to say, talk about her role, and talk about what this means and all that. And then we're going to make a video about it after, but I actually made a few miscalculations in there, because the second the press conference started, and the second Jeff Molson and Poulin started answering questions, I realized that my ability to consume this content was not really at its full capacity, because my French stinks. Now, there were a few questions in English thrown in there. I think maybe it was about a 35, what's the other number, 65 split of English to French conversation, so I did pick up on a little bit of it, but I was kind of disappointed that I was like, oh man, I'm not going to be able to understand most of this. I guess I have to go onto Twitter now and keep on refreshing everything there to see what all the quotes are transcribed into l'anglais. But either way, we have ourselves the news that Marie-Philip Poulin has indeed been hired by the Canadiens. Let's go over the press conference or not the press conference, the post on the website first, and then we're going to go over onto what they said during the entire presser. Poulin will hold the position part-time and continue to pursue her playing career at the same time. So there you go. The Montreal Canadiens' newest player development consultant is going to be juggling both this role as well as her regular playing career role. Montreal Canadiens GM Ken Hughes announced on Tuesday the appointment of Marie-Philip Poulin as player development consultant. It is a privilege to add someone as competent as Marie-Philip Poulin in our ranks. She is the best in her field, and her accomplishments will help us build a winning culture within the Canadiens, declared Jeff Molson. Her arrival is another step towards achieving the diversity that we want to establish within our organization. Poulin, 31, is having an outstanding career as a player. She has won 15 medals in international competition, including 4 at the Olympics, 3 of them were gold, by the way, where she became the first hockey player of any gender to score in 4 consecutive finals. Yeah, she is absolutely Captain Clutch over there. Poulin sported the colors of the BU Terriers on the American Collegiate System from 2010 to 2015, where she ranks 3rd in goals and points and 2nd in assists in program history. She also became the first ever player from BU to be named a finalist for the Patty Kazmaier Memorial Award, presented annually to the season's top NCAA Division I player in women's hockey. The article then talks about her other history, what she had done prior to college, as well as what she had done after. She won the Clarkson Cup twice and was named a CWHL MVP 3 times too. We are thrilled with the addition of Marie-Philip Poulin to our hockey development department, said Kent Hughes. She is one of the best players on the planet, and she has won at the highest level, which will be very beneficial for our players. Her knowledge, leadership, and vision of the game certainly make the Canadiens a better organization. Among her responsibilities, she will be called upon to join the players on the ice and in video sessions to work on their individual and collective skills in collaboration with the Director of Player Development, Rob Ramage, and the Director of Hockey Development, Adam Nicholas. The Canadiens will indeed hold the media availability. That's what I was waiting for until I watched it and I realized that I couldn't actually understand most of what was going on. I did pick up on a few things, though, mostly from the limited English questions that were asked. When it comes to Marie-Philip Poulin, they were asking her, hey, what are you going to focus on more? Is it going to be the players on the team or the prospects? She says she's going to focus mostly on the prospects, and that is super exciting to me, mostly because when you think about the idea of Shane Wright coming into the NHL, 17, 18-year-old guy suiting up as a CHL first overall pick, and all of a sudden he's going to be mentored and getting lessons in hockey from Marie-Philip freaking Poulin. Like, Boom, baby. That sounds so fantastic. She also talked a lot about what Martin St. Louis had been able to do, and how even though she has been busy with her own playing career, she was able to see some of the clips and how he connects with the players. She called out specifically the video of Martin St. Louis showing Cole Caulfield how to take that fake one-time shot and then wrap it in front before actually shooting, which was a play that he ended up doing in a future game shortly after St. Louis taught him about it. She also said that she wants to keep on playing for 4 years, and that even though there is no women's league that is starting up in September, most likely she does feel like there will be indeed a PWHPA league later on within the next year. She also says that when it comes to the differences between the men's game and the women's game is a little bit more finesse, and she would like to incorporate those elements into the development of NHL players as well, which is something that I think could really benefit this team. We know what Cole Caulfield is like. He's pretty much the finesse king on the Habs, so if a lot of other players can start to play a little bit more in that same vein, obviously I'm not saying that other guys like Josh Anderson has to be Cole Caulfield. That's not really realistic in the slightest, but for some of the smaller guys especially, this could be a very good lesson in development here. It's kind of funny, actually, because Marie-Philip Poulin is listed on Wikipedia as 5'7", which is Cole Caulfield's height as well. So these two are exactly the same size, pretty much. So when it comes to both of them being aware of how to play that finesse game, I think that definitely does make a lot more sense than not. Jeff Molson was also on the press conference as well. He had a few interesting comments to make. He said that they want to improve the analytics, the video, the hockey ops development side of things, and it's just an overall bonus that Marie-Philip Poulin happens to be a woman too, who is not only, female, but who is just so qualified, so good, and just an absolute legend at the sport. She checks off all the boxes, so that is absolutely incredible to see this hire go down. He also said that Jeff and Kent, so Jeff Gorton and Kent Hughes, will indeed work with her, and they were actually part of the reasons why she even came on board in the first place. So, gotta give a big shout out to the way the Canadiens are building their team. Not just in terms of the actual athletes, whoever gets drafted in the 2022 NHL Draft, plus the Wideman extension yesterday, etc., but on the personnel side as well. I like the fact that they're adding names that we all are familiar with, and that have a lot more to prove at the management level. Vincent Lecavalier is now on board. Marty St. Louis, of course. Marie-Philip Poulin. Not to mention everybody else that we had been talking about too. Chantal Machabé for the communications department, Adam Nicholas, as well as Chris Boucher for the analytics department. Jeff Molson wasn't kidding when he said he really wants to revamp the way this team functions structurally, not just on the ice, but everywhere off the ice as well. And with the prospects getting developed by one of the best Canadian athletes in the history of the country, man, I'm super excited. Shane Wright learning a thing or two from Marie-Philip Poulin sounds like a fantastic plan, and I'm pretty sure everybody's going to go out there and agree with me too. I wanted to go back on Twitter, though, and just see if I missed out on any important quotes here, because I did indeed, watch the interview, despite the fact that it was in French for most of the time. Ah, yes, this is also what I wanted to talk about, too. Arpon Basu tweeted this out 8 hours ago, so back when the announcement was actually made. The scenario of Poulin taking a part-time role with the Canadiens is something Kent Hughes actually spelled out back in March. This is the Athletic article he is referring to. Hughes confirmed the Canadiens have spoken to her about a potential role in the organization all the way back then. We have talked to her briefly, and we're hoping to have a more in-depth conversation with her. But the issue is that she's still playing hockey, so whatever we do, if anything, it would likely be a graduative process. Like, hey, why don't you come in and try this, see if you like it, learn a little bit on the development side if that's what it was, and then see if it's something that you would want to pursue at a later point. I guess now, the idea of her balancing both things is fully on the table, and I guess we can go out there and expect the best. So talk to me in the comments all your thoughts about Marie-Philip Poulin coming over here and being hired as the new Canadiens prospect player development consultant. It's so cool, man. It's difficult to try to verbalize anymore just how amazing this kind of news is. Talk to me in the comments all your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.